Hello and welcome to another edition of the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show. I'm the voice of the Patriots, Richard Todd, here with Athletic Director and Head Varsity Football Coach Steve LaPrade. Fort Dorchester hosting the Wando Warriors, and we're going to get right into the action. And throughout the show, we'll talk about the pandemic issues that Fort had to deal with, and then a little electricity issue, as if the pandemic wasn't bad enough. But we'll get into the first quarter because right off the bat, we were wondering, after one day of practice, would the Fort be a little bit rusty? And we had a bad snap on the punt that fumbled and kept the ball down for Wando to have good field position, but the D stepped up. In fact, the D stepped up all night long.
They did. It really wasn't a bad snap. Hit Chase in the hands. I think it's first time, he told me it's the first time he's ever dropped the ball. So he said it just slipped out of his hands, and then he slipped trying to punt it, and then he tried to punt the second time, didn't go very far. So, yeah, it wasn't a good start. We didn't, we probably had a touchdown on the first play, and Zoltan didn't throw a good ball. So, yeah, it wasn't a good start. Yeah, it's what I was worried about, and it happened, but defense came in and took care of business.
Yeah, Wando had a chance to score, missed a 26-yard field goal. Fort Dorchester gets the ball back, and what was nice was to see the balanced attack, passing and running. Demetrius McKelvey, Davion Joyner, wide receiver, Michael Smalls running. It was a run back and forth, a really nice drive that ended in Zoltan with a 1-yard quarterback sneak to go up 7.
Well, we wanted to run more. Most plays we have are really run calls. But, our offensive line's got so used to pass blocking, so we wanted to run the ball more. I think our goal was to run for 200 yards or 300. I think it was 200, and I think they made it. So, that's a good thing. I think if we'll continue to grow up front on the offensive line, we could be a decent football team for long.
Yeah, Michael Smalls ended up with 121 yards alone. A great job there. And then leading the turnover ratio, the takeaways, giveaways. Wando has a fumble, and you guys turned that right around into points as Zoltan and Trey Ryan hooked up to get the ball downfield. But the pass that Zoltan threw, 6-yard touchdown pass to number 12, Marion Boots Mitchell, that was a dime in the corner of the end zone.
Yeah, you're probably not supposed to do those things in high school. That was a really good throw.
And then after that touchdown, that was an attempted 2-point conversion on a fake PAT. Is that correct?
It was not a fake PAT.
Okay, so that was not planned.
No, planned to kick it. But no, I don't know. I really missed it. I didn't see it. I don't know if the snap was a little low or whatever, but yeah. Yeah, it was not a plan for sure.
And those kinds of mental errors are to be expected with only one day.
Well, you hope not. We talked about that before the game. I told them, now the world's all about breaking through hurdles and jumping over hurdles and changing the world and making it a better place. And I said, here we're in this situation, practicing one day, and you guys got to step up and bust through the hurdle. And I was proud about the whole effort, but we did come out. I hate to say we came out flat. We came out unprepared. So, I really, honestly, for 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds to come out and do what they did tonight, I'm pretty proud coach tonight, to be honest with you.
It's been a challenging time for all high school teams, and it's been maybe the most challenging couple of weeks in Fort Dorchester football history for things not on the field. We'll get into all of that, but it was 13-0 Fort Dorchester at the end of the first quarter, and we'll have second quarter highlights coming up as the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show continues next.
Okay, our offensive player of the game against Wando is Michael Smalls. Michael Smalls is a junior. He's running back number 4. Had a great game. He had 121 yards offense, 1 touchdown on 10 carries. So he averaged about 12 yards a carry. He had a great game. He's getting better and better every week. So Michael Smalls, you're my offensive player of the week against Wando.
Hey girl, what's your name?
Tammy.
You come here often?
Every 3,000 miles.
Can I buy you a can of oil?
Well, with a grill like that, you can buy me whatever you want.
I like it. Want to get out of here and go burn some rubber?
Import Service Center is a full-service maintenance and auto repair facility for the best vehicle services at affordable prices. Come by Import Service Center right in the heart of North Charleston and Somerville.
Mighty, mighty Patriots are as awesome as can be. A-W-E-S-O-M-E. Mighty, mighty Patriots are as awesome as can be.
I did it to myself.
Stokes Mazda, a proud sponsor of Fort Dorchester football, so make sure you get signed up and kick to win at every Fort Dorchester game. We have Mr. Scott Lee on the field. Oh, he's doing this the straight kick, not the soccer style. Here we go. A throwback. 40 yards, Scott. Good luck. Almost made it to the end zone. Here we go.
Just under the crossbar, but Scott, because you chose to kick to win, you still win $100 from Stokes Mazda.
Look at the picture.
And welcome back to the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show. As you see our friends from Stokes Mazda giving a Patriot fan a chance to kick to win. But Scott Peak, we don't want to talk about that kick publicly, but Stokes Mazda, great supporter of Fort Dorchester football. We have some great sponsors and supporters of Fort Dorchester athletics in general. And Stokes Mazda at every home game gives you a chance to kick to win a new Mazda for a year, or at least win $100, and a kid who's a student can win $1,000. So Stokes Mazda, and I know you really rely on those kinds of supporters in the community.
We got some great sponsors, and Stokes is, our guy. I mean, he does a lot for a lot of high schools and a lot of sports in this area. That's a great family. They do a whole bunch to help a lot of kids around here.
We appreciate Stokes Mazda and all of our athletic supporters here at Fort Dorchester High School. But we dive into the second quarter with a 13-0 lead for Fort Dorchester over Wando. And another takeaway, pressure by the defensive line, which gave Rashawn Springs an interception. But that defensive line really put pressure on Wando.
We continue to improve up front. We got some hosses up there, and they're tough to block. And they wear on you. I probably wouldn't want to be a quarterback on the other side. And they kind of wore on, those Wando, let me tell you something, those Wando kids, every year, I say this every single time, those kids play so daggone hard. I respect that group of kids about as much as anybody. We usually, we thumped them pretty good tonight, but it's not because they don't try. Those kids play hard. And, Mount Pleasant should be proud of those kids.
Zoltan Osborne was throwing some darts. He ended up with 245 yards and a couple of touchdowns for the Patriots, but unable to convert on a fourth down. But again, the defense, Demetrius Watson tackling for a loss, Xavier Sanders, Devin Geddes, those guys up front were holding Wando really without any kind of offense, giving the ball back to Fort Dorchester, and the defense just, they pitched a shutout on them the whole night.
They did, and it was good to see them pitch a shutout. Those guys work hard, and we just got to continue to get better and better. And they set our offense up a lot of times. We get some short fields, and they just wear on people. I mean, we got one of our guys back. Jaden Acevedo was out with a knee. We got him back. His first time he's played this week. We still had another defensive lineman out tonight. But we get a couple of those backups in where we give those guys some some blows on defense. We might end up being okay.
It was 13-0 still at this point in the second quarter, and then really the turning point, there was an offensive pass interference call against the Patriots that I think some people might question whatever, but it brought about a 3rd down and 30, and just like that, you had a 30-yard pass from Zoltan to Davian Joyner, and then a 54-yard pass to Marion Boots Mitchell. Back-to-back plays, and just like that, from 3rd and 30 to 20-0 Patriots.
Well, it's good to see Boots get end zone. He hadn't, and it was good to see him get in. I think he got there 3 times tonight, but the communication between our receivers, especially Davion and Zoltan, they kind of see each other. And do their little motions. And I mean, I think a couple times Davion either scored or made some really good catches off of some scrambles. And you know, Zoltan, he's pretty good at scrambling. And he you know, we had some big plays on that tonight. And I know Davion had a couple of them. And you know, we got some good receivers. You know, we really do. We probably got about 8 guys that can catch the ball and can run pretty good. Okay, our defensive player of the week is DJ Watson. DJ Watson's number 90. He's an inside defensive lineman for us. He's a senior. He's done a great job for us over the years. Continue to do a great job. A lot of pressure this week on the quarterback. He got 1 tackle for loss and a sack. Caused some fumbles. DJ's a heck of a player. Got a great future. So DJ Watson, you're my defensive player of the week against Wando.
Hey, Bill Yarborough here, Import Service Center, brake lights. And how do I check them by myself? So one of the easiest ways to check your brake lights by yourself is to apply the brakes before you open your garage door or back up against something. One of the easiest ways we find is if you find a storefront that you can park in front of. If you back in, you can look against the plate glass windows and see the reflection of the car. Probably there's no substitute for having one of your friends or neighbors come out and look at your brake lights when you press them.
Great. That's why he's my coach of the week. That's Coach Floyd, Bobby Floyd, defensive coordinator. Pitched a shutout this week against Wando and still had enough energy to go in there and cut the rug a little bit with the team. We've been trying to enjoy our wins this week and this year. And Coach Floyd, wow, that was fantastic. He looked good in that Patriot outfit. And I know it looks like the kids went absolutely crazy when they found out it was you under there with that, when you took the head off. So Bobby Floyd, you're my coach of the week against Wando. Great job.
And welcome back to the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show as the Patriots host the Wando Warriors. 27-0 the score as the third quarter begins. And the defense again stepping up. They have a shutout for the game. Wando gets the ball deep in their own territory. Demetrius Watson, Devin Geddes, the guys up front just keep pushing Wando back. Then a snap out of the end zone and a safety just like that. It's 29-0.
Yeah, that's what we talked about at halftime. You know, I said if there are any type of competitors, you know, here we just scored twice in a minute right before the half. I said I'm sure their coach is going to get on them. And I said if there are any type of competitors, which I know they are, I said they're going to come out. I said so we've got to learn how to knock people out. I said it's like a boxing match. You know, you punch, and you see your opponent weakening. You got to be able to knock somebody out because the longer they stay, you don't know if they're going to throw a haymaker and knock you out. So that was one thing, and I was glad I thought we did that. You know, I thought we kind of knocked them out in the third quarter.
Absolutely, because you get the safety to go up 29-0. They free kick it back to Fort Dorchester, and it wasn't long before Michael Smalls had a 44-yard touchdown run right down the middle to go up 36-0. And there's that knockout punch you're looking.
It was, and it was a good thing. We kind of did some things at halftime and talked about some things the way they were playing us that we thought we could do, and the kids came out and did exactly. Great job up front blocking. I mean, it was absolutely picture perfect. It's just like we drew it on the board. It was absolutely perfect. And the offense, we knew, and we just, you know, right on down the field. So, you know, that's a positive for me as a head coach, you know, that they listen. You know, being able to be coachable is huge. You know, just because you're a great athlete doesn't mean we're going to win football games with you. You know, of course you want a great athlete, but you want one that's going to listen. So we all can learn. We do too as coaches every day. So that was a good thing for our offense, you know, and that was them believing in our offensive staff. You know, they did. They believed in what they said, and boom, you know. So hopefully they learned some things tonight too, like, you know, when you listen to these guys, they know what's going on.
That was a good knockout punch there. Michael Small's 18 rushes, 124 yards, and a touchdown. Zoltan only his second interception of the season. And you also told me just before we were talking here, the first offensive holding call against the Patriots all season long.
Not holding, first penalty on offense. We went 2 games without offensive penalty. And for God's sakes, I wasn't going to say anything. Because I knew if the officials and everybody heard about it, we'd probably get 100 penalties.
Because we had a few illegal procedures and offsides and a few things there with at the line.
We did, but that was the first. We hadn't had a single penalty. Isn't that something? I don't think I've ever went 2 football games and not got an offensive penalty.
And the Zoltan interception is just miscommunication between him.
It was, you know, Davion doesn't usually make that mistake. But, you know, he was supposed to twilly out's what we call it, and he went inside, and of course Zoltan threw the ball where he thought he was going to be, and of course, unfortunately for us, Wando was there instead of us. So, you know, it probably looked bad in the stands, but it was just a miscommunication thing. You know, that's the bad thing with our passing being like it is. Our passing game's kind of excelled so much. You know, we throw to spots, and we expect our guys to be there. So, you know, it happens. It's not something we like. But you know, we don't like turnovers, so I think we've had 2 of those in 3 games.
And that's not bad either, especially the number of takeaways you've had in the games as well.
You know,
So
I can remember one year we went the whole year and didn't have any, but you're right.
the turnover ratio in favor of the Patriots, and Zoltan bounces right back the next possession. It's a 13-yard touchdown pass and the 3rd touchdown reception for Marion Boots Mitchell, and 43-0 there at the end of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I was happy with that. I kind of wanted that and get some of these guys in. We have a lot of guys that work really, really hard, you know, and they're growing too, and we need to get them in some ball games. And I thought it was a good team effort. We got a lot of, I think everybody played, which is good.
43-0 would be the score at the end of the 3rd quarter. It also would be the score at the end of the 4th quarter. And we're going to talk about in the 4th quarter some of the issues Fort Dorchester had to overcome, plus great opportunity for backups to get into the game in the 4th quarter and get a lot of playing time. We'll talk about that as well and what we're going to be doing going forward here as the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show continues next.
Bill Yarborough here with Import Service Center. Tip of the day, tire pressure. Probably the most convenient place to access the tire pressure information is inside on the driver's door jamb. As you open the door, look at either the back of the door or on the jamb. Sometimes they're located in the glove compartment, and if that fails, go to your owner's manual. Probably the easiest thing I've found is looking in the index under tire pressures, and then you'll be able to find a page with the appropriate pressures.
Hey girl, what's your name?
Tammy.
You come here often?
Every 3,000 miles.
Can I buy you a can of oil?
Well, with a grill like that, you can buy me whatever you want.
I like it. Want to get out of here and go burn some rubber?
Import Service Center is a full-service maintenance and auto repair facility. For the best vehicle services at affordable prices, come by Import Service Center right in the heart of North Charleston and Somerville.
Welcome back to the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show. The Patriots lead the Wando Warriors 43-0 at the start of the 4th quarter. That would be the score at the end of the game. And as we check out some highlights, much to talk about. First of all, the fact that you got a lot. You said every player got in. I got to mention the backup quarterback, Jaden Coffey, getting in. And also Tramel Davis with some good production there at running back as well. Just great to get the linemen in, offensive, defensive, specialty players. Great to get some playing time for them.
It was, you know, and it was great to see Tramel. I mean, he's, you know, he's come so far and he runs so hard. He does a lot of our scout team stuff, and he, you know, if I can get him to run a little bit lower, but man, I'm telling you, nobody runs harder than he does. You know, so it was great to see him, you know, get get, I don't know how many yards he ended up getting tonight, but he busted it. You know, he's the reason I think that we got over 200 yards rushing.
Yes, Trammell actually ended up getting 47 yards rushing on top of the 120-something Michael Smalls had. And so as we watch the highlights here, it's just great that we got a game tonight, period. For Dorchester District 2 athletics had been suspended since the last home game, basically, on September the 3rd. And there was uncertainty of what was going to happen with this Wando game. School resumed just the day before on the 16th, which meant 1 day of practice for Fort Dorchester heading into this Wando game. Can you just talk about what it's been like the last couple of weeks with e-learning, virtual school, and no practice in the middle of the season?
Well, you know, the thing for me was so bad because I thought we were really, we improved quite a bit from game 1 to game 2. You know, Dorman's a great opponent, and, you know, I felt really good about it. And then we kind of had an open week 3, which I was going to feel, but then, you know, we kind of knew we were going to close school down for a little bit. So that worked to our advantage. You know, the bad thing for us is, you know, this team really likes each other. You know, they like being around each other. They like practicing. They like playing football. They enjoy it. And you know, the bad thing for us is we didn't really even see their faces or anything until this past Monday, since the Dorman game. You know, we hadn't seen them in 8 days, 9 days. So we knew we had to do something. So we got together and met and just got a plan. And of course, we went virtual. And so Monday, you know, we went over the Dorman film because we hadn't even graded the Dorman film as far as with our guys. So we did that, and you know, I'm a technological idiot. So my coaching staff got where we had the kids in one large team when I talked to them, and then they would also go into smaller groups, position groups. They could join those meetings also. So we did that, and we even did calisthenics. We did warm up. We did stretching. The kids would have to have their phone. We would give them 20-minute workouts that they had to go out, each position oriented, where they worked and ran and got them tired. And then after that, they came back and they watched film. We did that on Monday. On Tuesday, of course, we changed over to Wando. So we did the exact same thing, except now we did our virtual learning and all our stuff on Wando. Did the same thing on Wednesday. So we had planned the school district was going to start back to school on Thursday, and we kind of knew we were obviously only had 1 day to prepare for Wando. So I said we will practice. School started later at 9:30, so we're going to practice early. Well, so we called practice for 7:15. Called Chick-fil-A, got some food over here, everything's good. Then we find out Wednesday night, school's gonna be closed. Well, the difference in that is all your kids are showing up at 7:15, you practice, you eat breakfast, and you go to school. Now that's not happening. Now, as a coaching staff, we have to practice, feed them. Now we gotta get them home by 9:30 to be in class,
for virtual learning.
Or they're late. Okay, you say, well, Coach, how stupid are you? Just bring your tablets. Well, that's what the kids did. We have no internet here because we had no electricity.
Yeah, and let me ask you about that, because I mean, we have the unprecedented challenges of a pandemic, and it was the 3 Dorchester District 2 teams, Fort Dorchester, Ashley, Rich, and Somerville, that athletics were shut down.
Right.
And you're dealing with these challenges of a pandemic, and just as you're starting to resume, there's a big electrical equipment failure that shuts down Fort Dorchester for 2 days, and it's going to be 2 more days after the taping of this. And so there's no air conditioning, no internet, no ice, none of the things that you need on top of coming back from the pandemic. That had to be incredibly frustrating.
It was frustrating, you know, because you've learned, that's the one thing about this pandemic, it's made us all able to change. I mean, we're all
coping.
Yes, because nothing is as it is. You know, whatever, you know, and I'm the athletic director too, so I don't even want to go into that. But, you know, but everything you do is changed. I mean, it's like constant change. Nothing's in cement. So, you know, for us, the biggest thing was, so now, just like Thursday, now the kids go home, they have school, now they got to come back. Well, we have football class, 4th block at 2:30. Well, We had everything planned out. Well, that's not happening because now they got to get a ride. They got to get back over here. So now it's 3:30 before you can practice, okay? So what do you think happens Thursday when we practice? It rains sideways. Sideways. We couldn't throw the ball one time Thursday. We couldn't even snap the ball. It was raining so bad. We had to let the quarterback hold the ball. So that's what practice we had on Thursday, you know, and you go, okay, so then the kids come in. I mean, we're drenched. I mean, I am soaked. Every kid's soaked. What do we have? No washing machine, no dryers. So we can't wash their equipment or anything at the school. So then, all right, so then now we have Friday. So today, we had to wait for the kids to all get over here like we normally go at 2:30, do walkthroughs. Nope. Got to wait till 3:30. We usually eat at 3:30. Nope. So we do walkthroughs at 3:30 so we don't get to eat till 4:30. So so I guess, and then as being athletic director, of course, the district's worried about the parking lot being dark.
Right, and they had to actually bring in the light stanchions in the parking lot to light the whole lot.
At one point, can you think we can have it at Wando? Well, of course, I didn't want to have the game at Wando. So I had some friends, once again, we talked about sponsors. Banks Construction stepped up, got all these lights over here, and, we were able to have the game. It's something. And obviously, next week, we're starting off
let me
the
ask you about
same
that.
way.
I mean, this is quickly becoming one of the most challenging and memorable years in your coaching career
Yes.
and in the history of Fort Dorchester football.
Yes.
But the ending is yet to be written. There's still a lot more to go because we're still here at the end of September, and now Fort Dorchester goes on the road at Myrtle Beach on Friday the 24th.
Sure. I mean, it's crazy. Sunday for us, what is it? Our kids come in late Sunday, we get a lift in, and we watch film. Not this Sunday. We have no lights in any of the weight rooms. Okay, can we watch film? No, we can't watch film here because we have no internet. So what are we going to do? I mean, our coaching staff actually has to go off-site and find somewhere to meet and game plan for Myrtle Beach. Then our kids, we're going to go over the film with them virtually again. We'll see them Monday when they come here. I've already heard we may not have school Tuesday. So it's been something.
I guess the best way to put it is stay tuned, because we don't know what's going to happen, and you'll find out probably right along with us. But Fort Dorchester at Myrtle Beach on Friday, September the 24th. Keep in touch with Fort Dorchester Athletics online to find out the latest. And also, for Fort Dorchester supporters, keep in touch with the high school to find out when it's going to reopen, hopefully sometime in the week when the electrical equipment failure is repaired. But thank you for supporting your Fort Dorchester Patriots as this incredible season rolls on, and we appreciate you watching this edition of the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show.